Okay, so I had a teacher threaten to hang me, but not only hang me, but hang me on the cross like Jesus. Her name was Miss Lopez. It was in elementary school, y'all. I think I was like in the 3rd grade, I believe, or maybe 2nd. And it was one of those, like, my school had that, like, ESLA program, I believe it was called. And it was where the kids who didn't speak English would go to a different classroom, learn English, and then the kids, we would flip-flop. So I had a flip-flop, and I had to go into Miss Lopez's classroom. I was the only kid that had to go to her classroom for whatever reason. And I remember she was just this lady. She looked like a caricature of a person, if I'm being honest. And she would always be picking on me. She's like, Monday! And I'd be like, fuck, man. Yes, Miss Lopez. And she's like, get up on the board. And y'all, I was a dumb kid. I could not do anything right, okay? So she told me to go up to the board and spell something. I spelled it wrong. Obviously, I'm fucking stupid. And she was all like, are you dumb? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, bitch, isn't that why I'm at school? Yes, I am. And she talked about it for literally 20 whole minutes. And everyone in the class is like, look around like, dang, are we still talking about this girl being dumb? And I'm sitting up there crying. Miss Lopez was a mess. What she would really do though, she would threaten her students on a daily basis. Every single time I'd be in that classroom, she would not only threaten me, but like other students. She's like, if the laws weren't, different, I would beat you kids. Just like my own kids, I'd beat you. We would all look at her like, should we tell somebody? I think everyone was just too scared to say anything. So I remember I had enough. I wanted to snitch, so I did. Like I always do. I snitched. And I told my mom, and I was like, Mom, I cannot go back into her classroom. She talks about me all day long. She calls me stupid and dumb, this, that, and the other. And I was like, I don't like being in her classroom. My mom was like, oh, just deal with it. And I'm like, girl, I will protest. I will do a sit-in. I don't give a fuck. And that's exactly what I did. When it was time to do that, my teacher told me to go to the classroom. I was like, I'm not going till I call my mother. Y'all, after a while, it was my last day and I had to go to the classroom. And the principal called the teacher and told her to fucking calm down. And the teacher, when I got into the classroom, she's like, so, you kids think I'm gonna kill you? And all the kids are petrified, like just ghost white faced. And we're like, and I'm fucking shitting my pants. I'm shitting, I'm farting, I'm fucking throwing up, I'm spitting, I am crying, I'm about to slide down on the fucking wall. I was so scared. I was like, she knows. So Miss Lopez is like, somebody snitch to the principal to me. And we're all like, oh my God, who did it? We're all like, we're fucking scared though. We are so scared, we're petrified. We're like, oh my God, like who would do that? Like, you are brave, you're brave. And I'm looking around too like, dang, who did it, y'all? Who did it? Like, oh my God. So then Miss Lopez goes off for the entire time we're in the class. She's literally going off. And she's like, why would I want two kitty kids? I never said that. And we're all looking at her like, why are you fucking lying? You don't even gotta lie to kick it, Miss Lopez. You don't gotta do that. And she's like, I would never kill kids. It's my job. It's my job to teach. Why kill? And we're all like, we don't fucking know. You say it. We do not know. And then she's like, it's a joke. She's like, this is how I joke. And now I'm in trouble. And we're like, yeah, that's not a fucking joke. So the class, we're literally dead fucking silent. And we're all just like looking around at each other as she's like going off for like 20 minutes. And she's all like, you kids know I would never hurt you, right? Right? And we're all like, yeah, we're fucking scared. And she's like, I would never hang a kid on the cross, right? And we're like, man, you tell me, because I don't know anymore at this point. So then obviously the principal told her that it was me. I don't know why. Oh, Lord Jesus. I don't know why the principal told her it was me. She was like, so Monet, how do you really feel about me? And I was like, and the whole class was like, the class was so fucking mad. Like, I knew when I left the classroom that she was gonna make them do some bullshit or just something. I don't know what she was gonna do. So I was like, fuck. And she's like, how do you really feel about me? And I was like, I think you are mean. I I think you're mean. Well, however old I was like, I think you're mean. I really wanted to say more shit, but I was like, you're mean. And she's like, ah! You think I took this job to be nice? I'm like, I don't know why you took this job anymore at this point, girl. I have no clue. No, I guess not. I guess not. So she was like, everyone stand up. And we're like, fuck, man. And she's like, we're gonna do a spelling bee. And so we did the spelling bee, and she's like, Monet can go first. And I was like, bitch, now you know she knew what the fuck she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. I can't fucking spell. She gave me a word that started with an O. I said A first. I was dead out of the goddamn spelling bee. And then after she obviously did that to make fun of me, she started making fun of me. She berated me, and she didn't even finish the fucking spelling test. She was like, you stupid bag of bones. Are you dumb? And I'm like, Miss Lopez, what if I was suicidal? What if I was suicidal? What if that was my 13th reason? She would always talk about my weight, and I do not know why. Miss Lopez, if you have kids that are watching this, I want to fucking run your fade. Fuck you, you stupid bitch. I hated you. I hated you so much. Oh my god.
I remember when I was younger, we used to go to like family events and stuff like that, and my cousin's house was kind of pretty secluded. It wasn't like woods, but it was like woods. So I remember when our cousin, got comfortable enough and we started running around having fun, we would play hide and seek. And as the day went on and on and on, it got dark. And we kept playing hide and seek. So we were kind of playing in their little woodsy area. And we were playing with flashlights. We were playing tag in the dark. And I remember I was it. So I'm running around trying to find everybody. It's adrenaline, you're running, it's dark, and all you see are lights. So I chase after who I think is one of my cousins, because they have a flashlight. And I'm running, and they're really getting into it. They're running so fast, so far. So I finally catch up to them. But as I'm running up to them, the light gets higher and higher and higher. And I'm looking straight up at this light, and I'm like, whoa, are they climbing a tree? Like, oh no, don't do that. So I'm like trying to flash my light at them, like, hey, what are you doing? Oh my god. And I see that it's a raccoon with a flashlight in its mouth, and I'm like, whoa, there's no way a raccoon could have a flashlight besides one of my cousins. So then we eventually all kind of met up, and we're like, hey, where's Miles? And all of us are like, oh, we don't know. Where is Miles? So I then tell them, hey, I saw a raccoon ran up a tree with a flashlight, and it might have been Miles. I think Miles is out there. I don't know what happened. So then we all freak out. We go to our parents. We tell them, hey, my dad's right on his tail chasing him. The guy runs off of our property, like out of our like backyardy area, and just keeps going, like into the actual woods. And my dad, as he's running, he's like calling all my aunts and uncles, all the adults, like, hey, we got the guy, there's a guy, call the police, somebody call the police, get Miles. So we're scrambling. Eventually we find Miles in the cave, and we get him out. Not a lot of us know the whole story, so we sit Miles down, we're like, hey, what happened? And he was like, as we were playing, I dropped my flashlight, and as I was bending down to pick it up, I bumped into something. And he was like, oh, he thought it's... Normally she brings my brothers along everywhere we go, but she only took me. Her friends had a daughter and a son. The daughter was around my age. We were both like 4 or 5 years old. And their son was about maybe 2 years older than us. And I remember we were playing and having a lot of fun. And at some point, all the adults kind of just left. My mom and her parents like left. And we were in the house alone. And they just figured, oh, the oldest brother or the oldest son is just gonna, watch the kids. So we're playing, and they had this patio that we would run in and out of. And I remember when we ran into the patio, me and the girl, and closed the door. Because her brother was chasing us. And I remember when I closed the door, the brother comes right up to the door and starts banging on it. And when I'm looking at him, I see that he doesn't have any eyes. When I saw that he didn't have any eyes, I immediately thought somebody hurt him. I thought somebody was in the house hurting us. And I was scared, and I was screaming, and I was crying, and I was looking at my friend like, is your brother okay? Are we okay? What's going on? There's someone in here. From that point on, she didn't say a word. She didn't say anything to me. She just sat there and we watched her brother banging on the door with no eyes. And I remember when our parents came back home, the door opened up and we all looked towards the door. And when he looked back at us, his eyes were back. Like, eyeballs were back. And I just was like looking at him like, no, that like did not just happen. Like, what the heck? What the heck? And I remember when my mom came back home, I ran up to her and I was bawling, crying, and saying there's someone in the house. Somebody in the house. They didn't know what I was. So when I told the adults that I thought somebody was in the house because they hurt him and took his eyes, they did not believe me, but they reluctantly looked around the house anyways. And to my surprise and theirs, they didn't find anybody. The parents did not ask the son what happened at all. They did not ask the daughter what happened at all. Later on that day, because we were still there, I asked the daughter, what happened to your brother? Is he okay? Did somebody hurt him? Why didn't he have eyes? Why didn't he have eyes? And she looked at me so fearful. And when I asked, she darted her eyes over at her parents. And she said, well, I don't know. Too scared to answer. Too scared to answer.
Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law I want to F her son? My 28 female, husband 31 male had to spend 2 months in a different state for work. He came back 9 months ago and I was obviously thrilled he's back. His mom, 56 female, unexpectedly came over. I was slightly annoyed, but I know she was just excited just like I was. However, she never left. Not 1 or 2, but 9 days. We haven't had any time together and she insists on staying here instead of a hotel. The guest room is next to ours and the walls are thin, and when we go out she comes with us or makes one of us stay.
Story of the time I almost fought a girl at my job. So I was a taxi driver and I pick up this girl. I'm assuming she's coming from work. So it was a grocery store. I was parked originally where you're supposed to park when you're picking up or dropping off or loading groceries or whatever. But a police officer was there and they were telling me to move up. So when I moved up, her side of the door was blocked by garbage cans, which means that she would just have to walk around like a normal human being, like common sense, like just walk around. So she walks out right off the bat. She's like, do you see this? Like to her coworkers, trying to act all cool. And she gets in and she tells me where she's going. And I was like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? And then she repeats herself and I was like, no, what'd you say when you were outside? And then she was like, oh, nothing. Like, I was just saying that, the garbage cans were blocking the door. And I was like, oh, okay, well, the police officer told me to move up. So, there's nothing I can do about that. Anyway, we're going. I make a wrong turn. Not a big deal. Then she picks up the phone, calls somebody. She goes, hi, can you pick up my daughter? Because I'm actually going to be late because, no comment. So I literally laugh. And when I drop her off, she slams the door. So I get out. Story of the time, this creepy old fart gave me $100 for no reason at all. Literally no reason. So I was working as a taxi driver for the past 7 months. I quit now, but I would pick up my fair share of creepy old fart weirdos. And this one guy in particular, he would always wait for me at the bus station so that he would see when I'm free so that I could be the one to drive him. Sometimes he would call, but most of the time he would wait for me specifically. At first, I didn't get a creepy vibe from him because I've taken this guy plenty of places before. I took him an hour away, and then I took him 5 minutes away. I took him 30 minutes away. I've taken him places plenty of times. And every time that I picked him up, it was really good practice for me because he didn't speak much English, and I don't speak much Spanish, but we're both trying to learn. So we would try to communicate. I would try to speak Spanish to him. He would try to speak English to me, and it was good until he started saying some creepy stuff. This last and final time that I ever picked him up and that I'm ever going to pick him up because I don't work taxi anymore, he started asking me oh, your nails, why didn't you do them? Because I told him that I wanted to be a técnica de uña. I'm sorry, it's so cringy when I try to speak Spanish, but I'm trying to learn, okay? Anyway, so he's asking me why aren't my nails done? Why isn't my boyfriend paying for my nails? And I was like, because he doesn't need to, because I do my own nails. What? And he was like, okay, so you know what? I'll give you the money for it, but just don't tell your boyfriend. What is it, 50, 75? And I just shook my head no, and then he gave me 100.
Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law I want to F her son? She follows us around the house constantly. We want to cuddle and watch movies, she's sitting in the armchair. Romantic restaurant, better make that a table for 3. We even left the living room to go chat in our room and she follows us. Earlier today, after hints, I just asked her to leave. She said she wanted more time with her son and I tried saying we wanted alone time. She insisted that she joins us and I finally snapped. I said, since you seem to be oblivious, I'll put this bluntly. I want to F your son. If you don't want to see or hear, you need to leave. She yelled and left, but said I'm disgusting and have no respect for her, her son, or myself.
Grabs the scissors and says thank you and goes back to playing the violin on her wrist, right? She's not cutting nothing because all the scissors is dull as hell. But now everybody's looking at Jenny and the teacher's like, actually, no, just get out of my class. Like, what are you doing? Get out of my class. And Jenny's like, man, I'm fucking tired. This was Jenny's last fucking straw. And mind you, everyone thought Jenny was a palm colored. We all thought she was palm colored. I'm so serious. Because she was just an emo girl, right? And so Jenny lays out the most obscene slurs I've ever heard be thrown at a person. Miss Espinosa was Hispanic. So, and I went to a predominantly Hispanic middle school. So after Jenny gets up and is mad, she's like, man, fuck you, everybody hates you and everybody hates this class. Fuck you, fuck this class, fuck you, fuck this class, fuck you, fuck this class. And then Jenny lays on the slurs, y'all. She lays on the slurs. And everybody, the way everyone audibly gasps when the slurs come out. And Jenny like looks around and she's like, I'm fucking Mexican! And Jenny yells, I'm fucking Mexican! And everybody's like, oh, okay. So it was like, okay, that she was throwing all these slurs at Miss Espinosa, but nobody cared because nobody liked the bitch. It was so bad. After that, after Jenny lays down the cleanest roast I've ever heard in my life, and I cannot even repeat. Jenny leaves the fucking classroom, is like, fuck you, fuck this class, fuck you, fuck this class, leaves, and Miss Espinosa goes down back to her desk, and it's dead silent in the fucking class, right? Miss Espinosa puts her head down at her desk, and you can just hear... You can hear Miss Espinosa sobbing at her desk quietly, and the whole class was quiet. And you know what we did instead of doing work or like maybe even consoling her? We were like, yo, Miss Espinosa's crying. Ah, ha, ha. Y'all, it was so bad that it was so bad she quit. After that, I didn't see her again after that at all. And yeah, Miss Espinosa was the kind of teacher that was like, the bell does not dismiss you, I do. So everybody in the class would always be late to like other classes because of her. And yeah, we decided to laugh in her face and get up and just leave the class and go home early. That's exactly what we did. It was a little mean now that I say this, but honestly, was it well deserved? Probably not. But did it happen? Yeah. Yeah. Follow my Insta. Wait, there we go.